Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today is a yet another dupe video. We're going to dupe Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin's palette, the newest collaboration palette that has come in the market. And this palette has such a beautiful color story. I might actually pick it up myself because this is like such unique special tones, which me while duping had to mix like two shades to get like so many shades. So I am super excited. I think I'm getting very close to the palette. I won't call this as a dupe, but I would say it is an inspired color story from this palette. Now, talking about the palette has 12 beautiful shades, which has several different finishes. It has mattes, shimmers, duochromes, multichrome also in the palette, which I'm super excited about. This palette is going to launch on March 25th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is going to be retailed at $56. So now, without further ado, let's dive right into the video. I want to put a disclaimer. If you guys do have this palette, the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey palette, I personally feel that you can dupe a lot of shades. I'm not going to use this palette specifically, but I definitely want to show this palette to you guys, just because if you mix like shades together from this palette, you can achieve a very similar color story, at least of the shimmers from the palette, I would say. Like this shimmer, like swatched with this shade is beautiful. That is the first shade of the palette. This matte shade is very close to the matte shade that she has in the palette. Also, this shade is very close. She does have like a blue to a purple, but this is like a blue. So I would say if you mix and match shades, you would get like a similar color story. Even this matte, I would say, is along the same lines of the matte that is in the palette. So definitely do keep that in mind. Do check the shimmers that you are interested in from that palette. But yes, I definitely wanted to mention this. Like the first shade in the palette, which is called Video Chat, it is like a orangey bronze shade, but it has like a different flip to it, which is very similar if you mix this shade and this shade together, which is called Corrupt Copper and Bronze Nova from the palette. Even if you do not have this palette, and you guys know how much I love my It's Bell Cosmetics and JD Glow shadows, so I definitely wanted to give you another option. Now this one is a JD Glow shadow in the shade Bestie. Now if you use this in the shade of that Corrupt Copper shade, that basically that orangey copper shade, then you would achieve a similar look. And for that bronzy shade, oh my god, another option another option would be this shade, which is called Citrine. This I think would come the closest. Can you see that orange and that bronze shifting shade? So I would say this shade would be the closest. So I'm going to show you this shade swatched. Stop focusing on my face. Can you see that orange shift with that bronze thing coming? Oh my god, it's so very pretty. And this is how it shows. Like, look at that shade. Oh my god, this is stunning. This is what I have on the center of my eyelid. By the way, if you want to see how I achieve this eye look, it would be at the end of the video. It is using all these dupes that I created out of this video. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Very simple eye look, but such a stunning one. Again, this is the first shade that is duped for you guys. Okay, so the second shade in the palette is called PaO2. I don't know what does that stand for, but I saw Heather's video and Heather said that it's related to her work. So I'm very excited about this shade. Now, I have a disclaimer for you guys. If you guys are interested in the mattes in the palette, and if you do have ABH Subculture palette, all the mattes are from this palette. You can easily dupe all these mattes. I would say this matte, this green matte, this yellow shade, and this all-star shade. If you have these four shades in the collection, you probably have all the mattes from the palette. So I definitely wanted to tell you guys about that too. So talking about the next shade, which is called PaO2, is being duped by the shade which is called All-Star from the palette. This beautiful burgundy brown shade. It's a deep burgundy brown shade, and it is stunning, absolutely stunning on the eyes. So let me swatch for you guys. Oh my god, this stunning shade, absolutely beautiful. Can you see that? Oh my god, beautiful, absolutely stunning. I love these kind of shades, especially if Even if you're going for like a cooler tone look or a warmer tone look, this is such a beautiful shade that can deepen up any kind of tones, and it doesn't look odd by any means. I love, love, love this shade. Okay, the next shade in the palette is called Passport because she loves to travel. That's why she named this shade Passport. Now this has been duped by the shade which is called Rose Water. This one by the Adept Cosmetics Flare Collection Remixed palette. Now you can see it has like a pink base with like a blue shift to it, and that's exactly what that shade is. Now if you do not have that palette with you, I also have a shade from Adept Cosmetics which is very, very similar, which is called Sin. This is that shade. Again, you can see that pink base with that blue flip. It is exactly that shade. I'm going to swatch Rose Water for you guys just because, yeah, I love my Adept palette. And I do have a code with them. It's called Smithy Sony for 10% off. I'll link it in the description box below for you guys. Look at that shade. Are you kidding me? This is such a pretty shade and such dimension, just because I have used this shade so many times on my channel. That's why I didn't want to like go that pinky bluey route. Stunning, absolutely stunning shade, I would say. Now the next shade in the palette is called Atlas. Now this has been duped by the shade called New Wave from the Subculture palette from ABH, and I would say this is more of like a warm tone brown. I would say a mid-tone brown, but it has a lot of warmth in it. So let me swatch for you guys. And you can see, oh my god, these shades are stunning, like absolutely stunning. So you can see that brown coming through, but it also has a lot of warmth in it. Let me just build it out slightly so that you can see it at least. Very, very close to my skin tone, but a little more on the deeper side, I would say. Again, this is the shade which is duped for Atlas. Now the next shade in the palette is called So Excited, and this is a beautiful gray to a purple shifting shade is what she explained it as. And as soon as I heard that description, I knew that I had to dupe it with this shade, and this is called Electrify from Pretties for Your Face. Now I don't know if you guys can see it, I'm pretty sure you can see that purple coming through, but it has like that strong silver flip too. It is absolutely stunning, I would say. So let me swatch it for you guys. Again, this is Pretties for Your Face Electrify. Can you see that? Can you see that purple and that gray silver coming through? It is stunning. So let me swatch it for you guys. These shades are absolutely beautiful. Can you see that silver? Now see that purple. Oh my god, this is like a multichrome shade from Pretties for Your Face, but I feel like in Heather's palette it's more of a duochrome shade. It has so many more shifts that you possibly would not see it in the camera, but in person it is absolutely stunning and such a smooth shade. Beautiful it is. I wish you would have seen more of that silver shade coming through, but I know it's strongly picking up that purple shade. Oh my god, it totally depends on the lighting also of the room. I am using natural lighting. Oh, it is absolutely stunning. Okay, now let's move on to the next shade. The next shade in the palette is called Scrub, which she defined as a blue to a purple shifting shade. Now you guys know I love my blue to purple shifting shades, and I had to dupe it with this shadow from JD Glow, and this is called Anomaly. One of my favorite shades from JD Glow, I would say. It's absolutely beautiful. So let me swatch it for you guys. Oh my god, cannot. Absolutely cannot. Can you see that? It's beautiful and stunning. So let me swatch it for you guys. I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Like you guys can see a lot of blue. I see a lot of purple. I really hope that you can see that duochrome coming through, but it's a strong shifting shade. Again, this is the shade which is duped for the shade called Scrub. Okay, the next shade in the palette is called OG03. Again, something related to her work, I would say. I would say it's a beautiful, deep, cool toned, but with like a slight purple base to it. And this, as soon as I saw the shade, this was a pretty difficult shade to dupe, I would say. But I thought that the shade, which is called Wanderous Night from Sydney Grace, would be very, very close to that. Also, I would say, as I mentioned, the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey palette, even this shade, which is called Palladium, would be very, very close to it. But this doesn't have that purpley taupey base to it, which that shade Wanderous Night does have. So let me swatch it for you guys. This is Wanderous Night. You can see clearly that is very, very deep, but it does have that taupey purpley shift. It doesn't have like a shift to it, but it has that base to it. It's truly a shimmer shade, but such a smooth shimmer shade. You guys know it's like my favorite formula from Sydney Grace. I absolutely love them. So this is the shade which dupes the shade called OG03. Now the 8th shade in the palette is called Hey Yall. That's how Heather introduces herself to every videos, I would say. And this Hey Yall shade is being duped by the shade called Macaroon from the JD Glow shadow. Now you can see that it has like a pink, but it is a rose gold in some angle. It's a very beautiful and a sparkly shade from JD Glow. Again, another shade that can dupe that shade is also from Adept Cosmetics, but the Break the Rules palette. And this is the shade that I'm duping it with. And this is called Just Watch. It is again such a sparkly, beautiful shadow. So let me swatch this for you guys. So pretty, man. Stunning it is. Can you see that pink to that rose gold shift? I'm pretty sure on my finger you'll be able to see that. Can you see that? Oh my god, this is stunning. Ugh, I love these kind of shades, like superb. Let me just build it up a little bit more. If you can see it. It is beautiful, absolutely stunning. I love to apply these kind of shades as like a one and done shade. Beautiful. Now the next shade in the palette is called Magnolia, which is being duped by this shade, which is called Untamed from the Subculture palette. Now if you guys do not have this Subculture palette, another very, very close shade is from Odin's Eye Giant Wolves palette, and the shade is called Desolate. So whatever palette you have, definitely take that shade. It's basically like a hunter green shade, I would say, but very, very muted. So let me swatch that for you guys. Absolutely stunning. Look at it. Like, I personally feel because Heather likes all those grungy tones, she has included all the grunge in the mattes, and she's put all the sparkly shifting shades in the shimmers. I would say I can relate to Heather so very much because we love almost like the similar color story, which I absolutely am head over heels about it. Oh my god. Love it. Now the 10th shade in the palette is called Austin, and this goes by her family name, and this is the only multichrome shade in the palette, which she said it shifts from a silver to a blue to a green to a pink. And as soon as I heard that shifting happening, I personally thought that this shade, which is called Eternal, is such a beautiful dupe to that. You guys know how much I love this shade. And this is again a silver to a blue to a pink to a green shifting shade. Absolutely stunning. One of my favorite multichromes that I have in my collection. And I cannot tell you guys enough things about it. Like, such a beautiful shade. Let me swatch it for you guys. Again, that shade can go with all the mattes in the palette. It's so like I know that you guys can see more of that pink to a silver, which is how actually this shade, which is Pretties for Your Face, Electrify's look in person. But this multichrome shifts to so much of a pink and a blue. It is truly spectacular, guys. I don't know, how can I show it to you guys? Because I personally, whenever I see this shade, like in person, I can see so much of the blue. Can you see that blue here if I'm putting it far away? But as soon as I get it close, you can see that purple coming through with a pink. Oh my God. I think in the pan you can see it much better just because I've used it so much. There's an indentation in it and you can see that shifts coming through from different angles. It's stunning, absolutely beautiful. Like, I don't know how can I show you guys? Can you see that blue? The pink, the silver. I should show you the shift like this. Oh my God. Beautiful. Now 2 more shades in the palette to go and I am so very excited. Now both of these shades are very grungy shades. Now the 11th shade in the palette is called Mythology. Now this is such a beautiful grungy mustardy yellow. From the palette it also has a little bit of green in it. Oh my God, I think this shade would be a little more leaning towards yellow, but hers is more of a yellow green. So I would say even if you have that olive green shade from your palette, you should mix it, but it leans towards a little more on the yellow side. That's why I'm going to dupe it with this shade, which is called Edge from the Subculture palette. That's how it looks. Look at that. It's so beautiful, so vibrant and good, and would go so beautiful with these greens and these like burgundy purpley tones. So very pretty. Absolutely beautiful and a grungy crease shade, I would say, for the palette. Now the last shade in the palette is a beautiful shimmery greeny bronze shade, I would say, and this is called Smith. Now again, as soon as I heard the description of this shade, I thought of that shade which is called Not Listening from the Break the Rules palette, and this is so very close to it. Now you can see this has like that duochrome, like a brown base to it. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It has a brown base to it, but it also has that bright green shade, like a shifting shade to it. It's so beautiful. I'm so close to hitting pan on this. Cannot. So let me swatch it for you guys. So beautiful. Can you see that? Oh my God. It's stunning. Absolutely stunning. So this is how I dupe the newest collaboration palette with Adept Cosmetics and Heather Austin. I really hope that this video was useful for you guys. And if you do have these shades in your collection, you can decide for yourself whether you do need that palette or not. But I'll give you a close-up right now in the outside lighting how this color story looks. Altogether, I'm pretty sure this won't be like an exact dupe, but I'm also pretty sure that I'm coming very close to that palette. Again, because I love Heather so much, I might pick this palette up. Like I absolutely love her and I can relate with her so very much. So I am very excited for her. Congratulations, Heather, for this amazing collaboration. I cannot wait to use this palette on my eyes and create many more looks out of this palette. So yes, that's all for today, guys. If you guys want to see how I achieve this look, then please keep on watching. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I helped you guys in a tiny little way to see and observe the shades that you have in your collection and if you really do need this palette or not. If you are new to indie shadows and if you do not have these palettes in the collection, I personally feel Heather's palette is going to be amazing because Adept's formula is absolutely top notch is what I've heard of. This would be the first palette that I would own from Adept, I would say. So yes, if you did like this video, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.